I'm King. This is Frankly Kay, where awareness and clarity means power. I do book reviews, journal with me's, vlogs, and financial videos, financial literacy videos. So if you're interested in those things, subscribe below and come on back to the Pulp Fiction party. Today I'm doing just like an intro cut because basically I want to buy this book, Die with Zero by Bill Perkins. I've listened to the sample on iBooks. I don't know what it's called. I'm gonna buy it. It's $16.99, so it's quite steep. It's quite steep, but it matches the price of, you know, like financial books, because I came across an article talking about the Die with Zero movement, and they pitched it in their own way. I'll put like a clip from what they said the main points were here, so you're seeing that on the screen right now. Those were what this article said were the main points, and then from there I went on to TikTok actually just to see some quick snippets of the what people are getting from the book. It's kind of all over the place, so I wanted to just read the book myself and come up with my conclusions. But going into it, I wanted to talk about my impressions going into it, and from listening to other people talk, reading that article, and even listening to the opening sample on iTunes Books. What is it called? The engineer who wrote this book, he's an engineer. He says right up front he's not a financial planner or anything. He's just a guy with some real analytical advice. I was like, cool. I like people who give me full base. I don't think you have to be a financial planner to have an input on financial lifestyles, because everyone's not a financial planner. Like, a financial planner helps you set up how you want to fulfill your lifestyle. So technically people can give you advice, and then someone to give you the tools and the resources to implement that kind of philosophy is a financial planner. But to give advice, you don't have to be a financial planner. And now it's great to get advice from a financial planner because they're understanding all these different aspects. But anyway, I say all that to say that that shouldn't turn you off from opening your mind to people who aren't financial planners. It should just be like, you know, disclaimer in your head. So it's like, if you're doing it strictly, don't be like, because Bill Perkins said so and he's the expert. He just told you he wasn't. He starts with an emotional tug, and it's very realistic for way too many people, honestly. So I think it was a good way to kind of shock you into what he's saying. And I feel like what that is it's basically, this is for people who make money. So if you have a little bit of money, or if you're someone who has just started, maybe it's your first big person job, you know, you really out here, you making a salary. I remember the first time I got a salary quote. It was very exciting. And it talks about utilizing that money instead of just having it sit there for your whole life, because he goes into, what I'm understanding is that he will later go into detail about the different ebbs and flows of life and how to maximize your life, because of how we all view saving really has us minimize living until later. I think that it's a point that I've made before, where it's like, you don't have to stop living your life in order to be saving, like the way people have people aggressively saving for the future. Now, granted, a lot of times when people do those savings things from the future or for the future, they're thinking like those aggressive things are people making a lot of money really early in their career, and they want to retire early. They want to retire in their 30s. They want to retire in their 40s. But I think that if you're not in a career like that, or you were like born with money, so you don't have like a nest egg, retiring in your 30s isn't really something you even thought about. You start to prioritize different things at different times. You might be wondering how you're going to leave an inheritance and all this other stuff. Instead of giving an inheritance, they give them cash gifts when they're alive, when the parent is alive. The article that I mentioned earlier was talking about this might not be good if you have kids or you want to leave an inheritance. And I think the book, because the way people were talking about it, people kept bringing up this topic about cash gifts during the child's life, and it's like, it reminded me of James Brown, who said to his kids, apparently he told them, y'all better get what you can from me while I'm still here. because when I die, nobody gets anything. And I don't think the children believed him, but when he died, he was dead serious. All that money, they didn't get a cent. They didn't get the house. They didn't get anything, from what I remember or what I heard. But mentally, you might be putting things on hold that you're not going to want to do later. You're thinking, I can do it later, I can do it later, because we all think we have all the time in the world. But then you'll get to a certain point in your life and realize that the point for whatever that was you were saving for has passed. Like, you're over it. It's not as important or of interest to you anymore. This book is supposed to be telling you to, when you have the means, to understand that you have the means and to maximize your life using the means that you have worked so hard to make. He makes it clear that it's applied to people with money and resources to spend and time to spend. I think it can still be applied to people who are tight on resources, tight on time, tight on money, because it can give you what I always say, the perspective of understanding what's important, but understanding reality. This book really has people looking at their life as an experience instead of the day-to-day as a hustle. So yeah, I'm very interested in reading this book. These are my pre-thoughts to reading the book. I'm gonna see if I can find it first at the library, and then if not, I'll buy the audiobook. But according to this book, I should maximize this time right now for saving. Also need to talk about with the person that you're with. Like these financial goals, whenever you're involving someone else or whenever someone's involved in your life, you do need to discuss it. While it is your personal business, because finances, when you live in a household with somebody, are such a sensitive topic, they need to be an open discussion. You need to be open to having these discussions about how you want to spend money with your partner, with your family. I don't know exactly the extent into which I would break down finances to my kids, except for like the matter of fact, but I need to read/listen to the book first. I think I will post all my book reviews in a compilation early next week. And they're all fiction books, so it'll be a really long compilation actually. This is the first book review on this channel. It's funny that it's a finance book because I haven't read a finance book since like Rich Dad Poor Dad. So anyway, that's my pre-thoughts to reading Die with Zero by Bill Perkins. Please come back when I talk about the actual book in my style of book reviews, which you will get to see early next week when I put out the compilation. I hope to see you guys then. Thanks for coming to my preview book review. Okay, bye. See you next time.